Hi, so now we'll start with explaining how the entire system works. So first, when both boards are started, the FreeRTOS board will start initializing its timers and the board. It will then initialize a task, which will start initializing the ultrasonic sensor. This task is also named as task 1. Once the ultrasonic sensor is initialized, it will start to detect. Once the ultrasonic sensor detects a person within 20 cm, it will then send a signal, else it will keep on detecting. So once it sends a signal to the other board, which is in bare metal and it contains the mic will then be initialized and will start to detect frequencies. The frequency for our numbering scheme, which we'll be using 0 to 9, will correspond to 18.0 all the way to 18.9. So as long as it detects a frequency within this range, it will start the counter. But before it does all this, it will first detect the start bit. The start bit, we actually allocated it at 19.1 kilohertz. And the stop bit is at 19.2 kilohertz. We reserved 19.0 for an alternate bit. So how it will essentially work is that first it will detect the start bit. So once it detects a frequency at the range of 19.1, it will set the start flag counter to 1. Then it will start to compare the frequencies. So if I detect anything within 18.0 to 18.9, for example, if I detect 18.1, that will be number 1. So when we detect 18.1 and it matches with our data, then we'll store the number 1 into an array, and there will be an array counter which adds. So once it detects the stop bit, which is at 19.2 kilohertz, it will then compare to check if the array counter is at 7, because we will be sending a total of 7 numbers. The whole sound will be in a formation of 10 bits, where not 10 bits but 9 bits. It will consist of a start bit, all the numbers, which is 7 numbers, then there will be an end bit. So once the end bit is recorded, it will start to see if the array length is 7. If so, it will send the NIC back to task 1, where task 1 will check with a Python script if the NIC corresponds to anything in the database. If there is a correspondence, the computer will let out a beep sound and the cycle restarts, where task 1 will then keep on detecting with its ultrasonic sensor again. In the case where a number is not detected and it's only 6, when the start bit plays again, it will reset all the components and the array is also reset, which all the numbers will be then ticked in again. In the case where the start bit is played and it detects more than 7, this compare counter doesn't run, but it will wait for the start bit to play again, which will then reset everything again. Next, we'll show you a video demonstration.
This is pin for 0 bit, pin for 1 bit. Oh, sorry.